Aje, welcome back to the Sisi Wanaume podcast, the number one podcast on all things men. Aje, and welcome back to the Sisi Wanaume podcast with me, Salif Nyambok. This is a safe space for the Kenyan man on a journey of self-discovery. This is Shida's a Nice Guys, and today we're going to talk about nice guy syndrome. So, I'm a nice guy before you start jumping the gun, and I have been one for the last few years. And that's not a bad thing sometimes, but it's just that at a certain point I started noticing a lot of dysfunctional patterns playing out in my life, and when they repeated more than once, twice, thrice, then I think I realized that Shida si hawa wase wengine. Shida ni wewe. You know? So, and that prompted me to go and look at research around this issue. And you realize that it's a deeper issue than when you wase wanataka kuichukulia. That it's just an issue of you not being nice to girls. So, I should let you know initially, of course, that I'm not a psychologist. I have not done clinical psychology or anything like that, but I did do communication. So the best that I can do with this resource on this episode is just to try and share with you the resource that I got and the information in the hopes that you can use this to try and map out for yourself what this is. But I highly recommend that you read that book. A lot of the information that we got today is from No More Mr. Nice Guy by Robert Glover. It's a very good read that can actually set you up for greatness if you are able to find it as soon as today. So without further ado, let's get into it. The series is split into 3 episodes. So in this first episode, we're going to talk about the nice guy syndrome. So, nice guy syndrome is basically a behavior pattern where an individual seeks approval or validation by being extremely nice and accommodating to others, sometimes at the expense of their own needs and wants. So basically, wewe ni mse mpoa. Wewe ni mpoa tu all the time. Anybody needs something, you're accommodating, you're friendly. You are the approachable guy who people can always rely on, but at times unajiumiza na huambiwa say that unajiumiza. Like unajideny. And it's something that I think in the African context ni kitu utaona sana kwa sababu ya background zetu, and we'll get to that in a bit. So nice guys work their entire lives to like trying to become what they believe other people want them to be, and never really focus on what they want for themselves. And they always try to hide their perceived flaws from other people. Like, unaogopanga wase, unaogopa venye wase watakubeba, unaogopa that labda ukinyima mse kitu utaitwa mbaya, unaogopa that ukiuliza manzi sijui XYZ like utaonwa aje, unaona. So you go through life like trying to assume that people can get into your head and understand that maybe you're being nice to them because you care about them, and they don't understand because they don't know. So a nice guy's biggest fear is actually intimacy. And because this vulnerability, kukuwa na mse mwingine karibu, inamaanisha that wataweza kuona venye this nice guy behaves, the things they think about, which they think that watu wakidiscover, watawaacha, wanaweza washame, wanaweza waumiza. So you realize that a lot of this is coming from, it's like, it's a perceived notion of self. A lot of nice guys carry a lot of shame, self-sacrifice, they seek approval, they do the opposite of what works. Ni wase indirect, like wanapenda kukeatake watu, like mkikuwa kwa group, instead of just chilling and being in the moment, they're always concerned like, hey, uko sawa nani? Uko sawa? And ye mwenyewe haezi jipatia permission ya yeye mwenyewe kukua sawa. Unaona? They are controlling, they have indirect contracts and dishonesty, they have difficulty receiving, and a bunch of other traits that are all more or less linked to a real loss of masculinity. So yeah, like I said, this information is quite extensive, so don't mind if I do read some of it, but you can now see that some of the traits that are showing up are the traits that now the online space or world tries to tell you that unaweza ziondoa tu hivyo by just deciding to do the opposite of them. Like, let's say if you are nice, then just stop being nice, be mean, you know. But there's a deeper reason where those things are coming from. And if we look a bit closer, we can actually see that a nice guy is the direct opposite of an integrated male. So integrated male is now a man who ako sawa, ndo mwanaume wene the guys are aspiring to be. Most of them are actually successful because they have a strong sense of self. They like themselves just the way they are. They take responsibility for getting their needs met, whatever those needs may be. They are comfortable with their sexuality in the sense that akiona manzi mwenye analike ana shoot shot bila kuhesitate. Akona integrity, they do what is right, not what is convenient, you know. They are a leader. They provide and protect for those people they care about. Si kuhepa responsibility, si kudanganyana, si kupatiana excuses. They are clear, direct, and they express their feelings venye ziko. Si ku unaonanga watu the way they cut shortcuts, or you try to assume somebody knows what you're thinking about. There's no indirectness with them. They are nurturing and giving, but they don't caretake or try to be the ultimate problem solver. They're guys, like, what that means is that these people can be relied on to take care of people, but they are not going out of their way beyond their capacity to ensure that everyone is happy at their own expense. They set boundaries and they are not afraid to work through conflict. Very, very important. Nice guys are afraid of conflict. Nice guys don't want to antagonize anybody. An integrated male anajua that hata tukikosana, we can always talk through the issue, we can always find a solution, we can always do A, B, C, D, E. Nice guys generally just focus their attention on meeting everyone's needs while trying to be the lowest maintenance guys themselves. So apparently the standard nice guy thing, na hata mimi mwenyewe nimewaifanya hizo vitu, ni ati me, I'm not a difficult person to figure out. I'm an open book. Like I'm an open book. I'm straightforward. I don't really need much. I know I can survive on bare minimum. But is that true though? At a certain point, I think wengi wetu tunaingianga hiyo space because tunajua venye hali ya Kenya inakuanga. Sometimes haijakuwa rahisi. Unajipata huko kwa hao. Maybe you guys never got enough provisions and things like that. So that mentality kind of forms where you learn how to just accept things the way they are, but without you really asking. You assume that you not having wants is the default state of who you are, and that's not the case. So you find that all these things come from somewhere. Like when a child's needs are not met in a timely or healthy manner, umtoi anaweza believe that yeye ni mbaya for having those needs. Like now when niko nakwambia hali yetu ya Africa, the way we grow up, some of us grow up a bit less well off. And unapata labda uko kwa familia bigi, there's not enough for everyone to go by. Maybe your parent hata anakuambia kila time unaona ukimuulizia kitu, usinipatie 5 bob ya sweet, ana jam na wewe. So unaona at that point labda wewe akilini unajiambia tu kwa hiyo hao siku enemy nitaka kufanya vitu zangu, itabidi nijishughulikie ama ni poa tu niache kusumbua mzae ama mom na hizi story, unaget. So zinaweza kuwa experiences nyingi, and I can share some of them below. Like maybe this child is hungry, no one feeds him. Ako analia na no one can hold him. You know those times where the kids feel so like umeumizwa and you can't even go back home to cry to your folks. You have to just go ujifiche mahali. Yeah, he's lonely, no one pays attention to him. Parents are angry at him, wanamneglect, wanamwekea unrealistic expectations. These parents who ukipata B, you're not good enough. Ama ukipata C, you're not good enough, or D. You know, if you got an 80, their first comment would be, why is it not a 90 or 100? Unrealistic expectations. And a parent uses them to gratify their own needs. Like, I remember one, like, let's say, mzaya anakuambia tuende ufanye hii course ya kitu ene utaki kufanya. Alafu anakurushia kitu kama like, but that's what we want, no? There is, it's like we. There is no we. This is you. Yeah, so they're using you to gratify their own needs. They shame you, they hurt you, they don't want you as a young man. Maybe they leave you alone and they don't come back at the right time. All these things inachangia in your childhood for wewe kukua mtu kama wewe. And for some of them, like let's say for me, I think I'm the kid who had a lot of expectations put on me early. So in my head, I thought to myself that I will only be good enough. Like, let's say if I do get good grades, if I excel in school, if I do right by my mom and just stay out of chaos and live a conservative life, even though sometimes it's not what I really wanted to do. I would have loved to be out there with the boys, just, wilding kidogo. But, yeah, to some extent that those are the things that come up. So you find that most nice guys conclude that something must be wrong with them, and that causes the important people in their life to leave them alone. So they'll start reasoning like the way I was reasoning now. Saizi unasema that I'm only good or lovable when I'm different from dad, when mom needs me, when I don't make any mistakes, when I get good grades, when I'm happy, when I'm not like my bro, or I don't cause anybody problems, or when the parents are happy. All these things are external to you, Yeah, you negate who you are. Like I'm lovable already as I am. You don't have that logic inside of you. So these guys are terrified of getting what they want, and they go through extreme lengths to actually prevent that from happening. And I have borne witness to this myself. I have been, and those are some of the dysfunctional patterns in a mini notice kwa maisha yangu. Like nilikuwa naji self-sabotage in situations that didn't really need me to sabotage myself, because ulikuwa umepatiwa the keys. So you find that nice guys try to appear needless, wantless. They make it difficult for guys to give to them. So difficult, yani. You insist on doing your stuff kivyako. Maybe you want to be mysterious. You don't talk to people. And at that point now, you make it very difficult. You use covert contracts. A covert contract is basically something that goes like, I will do this for you, so you do this for me. And all the parties who are in this thing, hatujui that tumesaini agreement. Let me show you how that looks like in real time. Wewe una like manzi. Na una decide, hautamwambia directly that unamlike. So, wacha nikuwe tu ule mse, let me be there for you, Let me let you text me in the middle of the night, call me, cry, tell me about your life and all that stuff, so that you like me and see me as a potential match for you. Well, on the ground, ujambia woman, like as in you've not said it expressly. And if you don't say it, then this shorty will just friend zone you and she assumes that we ni sponge tu and atakudampia, and especially when you're younger they'll just dump emotions on you and leave you there. So yeah, it's one of those things. That's what a covert contract is, and nice guys use them a lot in different areas of their lives because they are never really capable of saying what it is that they actually feel. They they also caretake. They focus their attention on too many people, always trying to ensure everybody else is good, but they themselves are not. So you find that a nice guy always gives, hoping to get something in return. And when they do this and then that is not met, it can turn into a lot of resentment. And that resentment can sometimes now become worse and turn into rage attacks where somebody just, ana flip tu anakuwa mwenda, passive aggressive behavior, una gaslight wase ama vitu kama hizo, pouting, like kujionea huruma, uye kila time, tantrums, withdrawing, you shame people, you criticize them, you blame them, or even physical abuse. So you find that maybe then a lot of guys who actually end up being the perpetrators of the ills against madam in this society, ni nice guys. So the supposed nice guys, when you wanna feature a lot of anger and angst chini ya surface. And I think Kenya unaweza realize now with this whole thing ni kuna some kind of shame that nice guys carry. Actually, it's toxic shame, which comes from those dysfunctional relationships that they create and all these patterns zenye zinakuanga around them when they're growing up. So there are two types of nice guys. There's the nice guy who believes that he is good by doing good things. So uni ule mse anataka tu kuwa mse mpoa ndo watu wamuite mse mpoa. But yes, mpoa. Like angekuwa honest angesema tu mimi ni katu wase wengine. So na get. But because anajipush so much akuwe mtu mpoa, and he would like to imagine that he follows the rules to the letter like this. He never changes, doesn't break any laws, he's just the good kid. And then there's the nice guy who believes that for him to be nice, he has to hide his badness from the world. So this is a different guy. The I'm so bad nice guy. So he hides his perceived badness from the world. Not because he's particularly nice, but just because he feels like he doesn't have another choice. He worries that if people found out who he really was, then he would never, ever, integrate into society and people will shame him and leave him alone. So all these guys suffer from the same symptoms. Realize that there's some kind of wall that they're building around themselves to try and prevent people from seeing who they really are. That is a bit of a scope of what a nice guy is in a nutshell. And this is what they actually mean when they say don't be a nice guy. Wase wenye huwa wana create content wanajua hivyo. But it seems easier sometimes for mse kukuambia tu wekuwa tu mtu mbaya. Unaona? Na the tragedy is when nimeanza kuona maboy wengi wa Kenya tuna behave. Seriously, hakuna utaipata mse wote ukibehave when una behave hivyo saizi. Next week, same time, same place, we get into nice guys in relationships. It's going to be part 2 of Shida's a Nice Guys. And we're going to delve into what nice guys need to do to ensure that they get the most out of what they want. What's good, people? It's Salif Kimbok right here. This is the Sisi Wanaume podcast.